Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I hope everyone is having the best of times. And, you know, I know you're better that you're seeing me, and I'm better that I am here. And I apologize for missing out the week in between and the lack of information to the effect, because I know you're looking at the website. And I had, remember, our core group that is the same bunch for years that produces this show and puts on is just a select few. And once anybody drops in that select few, it's really not set up for there to be a substitute, which probably in the corporate atmosphere, the way things are here and the way my show is actually a special show. Let's just leave it at that, a special show. It's probably best if we just keep things the way they are. And if these little things, snafus happen, please be patient. I will be back. And in this case, it was the person that, you know, Susan retired, so the person that took Susan's part, and she's wonderful, but she was sick. So my message to her to put up the note to you that you would have seen on time didn't get done. And, you know, I certainly understand about being sick, because you know what? That was only about the note. The reason why the note, as far as that there wouldn't be a show, the reason she was going to have to put up the note was all on me. You know, since we're this close family, and if you're new watching, you're going to be part of the close family too. So we talk about things that, you know, might be a little bit, you may not catch up, but you'll catch up as to the understanding of it all. So for those that haven't heard, 2.5 years ago, I got COVID. And I have been dealing with, if you ever heard of the term long hauler or long COVID symptoms ever since. They have gotten better at ever so incrementally of a rate. But certain activities, certainly anything strenuous, any really motive events in my life can trigger the symptoms. And things were going well. And I actually think, and this is a good thing, well, it's a good thing to think, that a couple of good things have happened in my life, and I think that I really actually was able to drop my shoulders, take in that deep gasp of breath that I've been needing to do ever since. Remember, 2.5 years ago, this show was furloughed for 10 weeks. So that, you know, you go without being self-employed, a situation like that, and all of a sudden, any savings you have can quickly disappear. I've been fighting a battle for a long time. To quickly speed up that story, I brought my family in to save our home. I'll just be straight up. We have a lot of equity in it. Being self-employed, though, any of you that are self-employed understand this, it's very hard to get particular kind of bank situations that would allow me to be able to access that very large sum of equity. So losing the home on the courthouse steps was going, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, was going to actually occur only 5 days after Raven got out of the hospital for having pneumonia in both lungs. And it turned out to be Legionnaire's disease. And that's the first time I've actually stated that. I've just said pneumonia in the lungs. But yes, it was confirmed. It took them 4 days, and she was in the ICU 5 of the 8 days. And they kept trying to test her for COVID, because all of her symptoms were COVID. And the doctors, once they get tunnel vision on something, it's hard, you know, doctors think they know it. It was fine only when they realized that, no, I don't care what we do, we're not gonna get a COVID positive result back from her. Did they test her for other things? Well, the extremely rare Legionnaire's disease, of course, is deadly in 10% of the people that afflicts, and was named after a American Legion convention in Philadelphia in 1976, and it ended up killing dozens. And only then was it discovered. So it was, we don't know where she got it, but it almost killed her. So you can imagine how I was, everything I was going through mentally on top of my own issues, and it caused her to have to leave here for quite some time, work-wise, and more financial situations turned out. But I couldn't have her come home from the hospital with nowhere to convalesce, which was another 6 weeks. So she took such amazing care of me, hand and foot, throughout my entire battle with the worst of my COVID symptoms and afterwards. I did not drive for a year. And so that not that I owe her, but I certainly would be a male chauvinist, misogynist pig if I did not return the same level of care that she gave me. And, what's a guy going to do when you love someone? You're going to take care of them. And that's what I did. So I probably would have come close to, I don't know, selling my favorite rock to the devil. And this is the one way to put it, to give her a place to convalesce. And I guess, in lieu of that, they say you're never supposed to do or borrow money from family members. I borrowed from 5. Yeah, I have, my baby sister passed away, so I have 4 siblings, and my dad's wife at the time. And so I go and borrow from 5. Well, my dad passes on, and which was just still horribly debilitating for me mentally on top of everything else. And let me just a side note on that. I have that birthday coming up, remember, in January. Remember, my other favorite collection of stones. Yes, we do talk about gems and minerals here. I have my Made in America collection of gems and minerals, which are specimens from the United States. The other that I focused on over the 50 years of collecting that I've been doing is my birthstone, January, which with the 6 families and subfamilies and what appears to I am, the fact that there's like hardly any treatments even able to be done to them, nor synthesization of them either. Except for, you have your garnet powders, if you've ever seen that, they do, because it's a nice hardness to it. So it was a perfect other item, especially since it was more of a gemstone, but had beautiful specimens too, for me to focus on and collect. With January, not only came my focus on my birthstone, but also I was born on my father's birthday. And talk about a birthday that I'm not looking forward to. I mean, for 61 years, we've shared our common birthdays to the point that all the nuns at the parochial school I went to knew that come my birthday, even in Sarasota, Florida, in January, it gets cold. It didn't matter. I skipped school. I would not be in school, and they knew where I would be, and that would be fishing with my pops. And so lifelong tradition as long as we could do it. And then he lived in LJ, an hour from where I live, and we continued on spending our birthdays together. And I cannot tell you how incredibly special. My I had 2 other brothers that had already paid for a trip for my dad and my mom to go to the country that my dad had always wanted to travel, and that was New Zealand. And it was all set up, it was all paid for. The caravan, camper, was rented, the plane tickets bought. My mom passed away in November, 30 years ago. And the trip was in the following March. So out of all my other siblings, I was the only sibling that didn't have a wife. I had my son, but of course he was with his mom. So I was the most available. I worked for myself. I had no way was I going to turn down an opportunity to spend 3 weeks with my dad, just he and I. I took my mom's place, and that's how I got to go to New Zealand, and that's how I got to, geology in motion, Rotorua. You talk about the Yellowstone of the Southern Hemisphere. Rotorua is on the North Island of New Zealand. It was everything. I got to see silicified logs pretty much in the process of being mineralized from an organic material to, an agate, a silicified material. You could just see it in action as the hot, boiling geothermal activity was occurring right there. Sulfur crystals, just a great geological trip, let alone going down to the Shawn River and doing the jet boat, going up to the Franz Josef Glacier in a helicopter. And we're coming down, the pilot swinging it back and forth down the glacier, and the crevasses in the glacier could have swallowed the helicopter for us never to be seen again. And, it was the most exhilarating 45 minutes of my life. I don't do roller coasters. That was a especially the pilot. He was a great pilot. He knew what he was doing. He was giving us our money's worth. And wow, I didn't get sick or anything, but I thought I was going to die every moment of the trip. That was once you survive it, it's the most exciting thing you've ever done. It was awesome. I had a great video from the whole thing. Went down to Queenstown. That's the opal capital, really, more so in a lot of ways than even Sydney, Australia. But over to Hokitika, where the Nephrite Jade Center, greenstone. So there was a great combination of rocks and minerals, and guess what? Actually, I just remembered what I'm wearing. I have it on backwards. I'll have to switch that around. I just got this back from my dad's, second wife of 30 years, and it's a beautiful nephrite jade hook. And the Maori people, who are the equivalent of the Aborigine people, what are to Australia as the Maori, M-A-O-R-I, pronounced differently sometimes. And the big moa bird, the dodo bird that went extinct, the kiwi bird, these are all New Zealand, live nowhere else, flightless birds. You know why? Because there are no snakes. There are no snakes, and that's why, with no snakes, you can have ground birds, and they can survive. And so it was such a great flora and fauna and geological experience with my dad. I said then, 3 weeks with him, just he and I, in a camper. I said then, and at a time of year when no one else was there, it was like having Yellowstone National Park to yourself. After that trip, and I came back, I said, if my dad passed away tomorrow, I said, I would feel satisfied that I spent all the quality time with him that I could. 30 years later. I had 30 more years with him. And he passed away, of course, over this summer. And you know what? I wasn't ready for him to go then. I just wasn't ready. I mean, when I sat next to him on the front porch up in LJ rocking, he seemed like he had years more left. Sharp as a whip in his mind, needed a little help walking sometimes. But after the big family reunion, he was ready. He was ready. But I wasn't ready to let go of my, I was his birthday present, he always said, and it made it special for that. So that's what I have coming up in January. I'm going to try to get by that date, and but I'm going to cling to all the wonderful, wonderful times that we did have. So here's some of what's going on. So, by the way, didn't make it last week, the show. Sorry the information didn't get there. Barbara, you're good about checking, and sorry about that, especially after the snafu the week or two before that. But like I said, sometimes it's better to not rock the boat and just go with the flow than to try to make mention about something that it was out of your control anyway. So I just appreciate all of your patience so that we can keep this show going and be everything that it is. Now, for those of you, so many of you loved the inventory that I featured 2 weeks ago, and I'm glad that you did. We have more of the same today, and there are so many choices. It's not going to run out. I may mix, you know, and I'm going to be mixing in some specimens as well because I've got some great items I intended to show there. What has occurred, though, was really a 25 to 30 year investment, I call it, in a relationship with a particular client that became my best customer when I had my jewelry store for 10 years. My jewelry store was in Chamblee, Georgia, which is a antique district. So it was perfect. I had an estate jewelry store where I could sell antiques. I know a lot about a lot of other stuff besides jewelry, believe that or not. And so that legacy I'm leaving behind. I always thought I might be part of the estate. They didn't have any children, this couple. And but then I closed, you know, I sold the jewelry store. It's still operating, but I'm not part of that anymore. And, you know, life moves on. And I thought that it wouldn't, that I wouldn't be able to be part of it. And why that's important is this particular estate, this particular client, she probably owns more custom pieces of jewelry that I have made than anyone else. There's another client with a lot of items, but it's not something that, well, I can't say that. Maybe I'll get an opportunity to be involved in reselling that estate as well. But this came back out of nowhere. And why? We're going to come full circle to my initial story about borrowing from 5 family members. Sometimes in life you might feel like that by taking the high road through life, it doesn't pay off. And I can tell you, I certainly have felt that way. It's like, wow, you know, when is it going to be my turn by doing right? And with this particular client, I was always, so extremely fair. And I guess it was time, because a good friend of the family who was is the executor and everything else of the estate reached out and contacted me, and they knew that I was familiar with the inventory, and we met. He said, "Have at it. It's yours. Go sell it." And boy, you know, if I could, on this show, how would you like the most outrageous, over 100 collectible dolls? If you know anybody, and then really, I mean this, I'm doing outreach here, because I have, I have the ability to find homes for over 100 different dolls, a museum quality dollhouse. And I'm talking about with the little lights that come on, hand-laid tiles, you know, fans, most amazing dollhouse, little miniatures of sterling silver, things like that. You're going to get to see some extra furniture pieces that I may be even offering on here. Some crazy, beautiful items, Royal Dalton, collections of carvings. You're going to get to see some of that. So, but the jewelry, the jewelry you're going to see. You're going to see today more items, and a mix of things as each week goes by. So I love to see what wonderful pieces were purchased last week. You guys really know your stuff. You got really all the ones I would have wanted you to have, plus there is some left. Now remember, we're covering all price points, so it's not just the high-end stuff, we're going to have the low-end stuff, and so that's kind of the mix. And each week, I'm going to try to group things together. Like today, we have some amazing emerald items, so I'm trying to show you some different emerald items. But here's the key. Here's the key to the overall estate. Since I know most of you are probably like in my age group, or at least you're not in the 20s or early 30s or anything like that, you know, late 30s, probably more like 40 and 50, and you know, I'm 61, almost 62. So you're going to have the same sense of definition of estate that I do. Now remember, I prefaced this with saying I had a jewelry store, very successful for over a decade in Chamblee, which is an antique and estate sellers kind of district. So very familiar with that whole genre, and of moving it, selling it, working with it, whether it's jewelry or even other furniture. The whole purpose, when I used to go what we call junking, which started off at a young age, early 20s, with my son's mom, we would go on Saturday what we called junking, which was going to yard sales. But slowly, you know, as I moved up in the jewelry world, also I moved up in the estate and antique world as far as dealing in furniture and other things outside there. And so it was a little more than junking. So in doing that, I made a lot of different contacts and got to know a lot of different people and learned a lot in that respect. But overall, why do all of us go junking or to yard sales? We go there because we want and expect a discount, a deal, something less, way less, not just a little less, way less than what we could go buy it for brand new. That's what I always thought something called an estate meant. Not only did it mean that it was previously owned, because that's really all it is previously owned. It doesn't mean it's necessarily old. That's what the word antique is for. And being previously owned, just like a car, you expect to not pay nearly as much. You expect to get a really good deal, especially on things like higher end commodities. Just like there's that whole, you know, the advertiser on TV that sells all the name brand items at a somewhat of a discount. But I've seen some of that inventory and not real impressed with the quality. And also, unless you really know what you're looking at, which it takes a very, very educated person in the jewelry industry to not get taken on fake goods. It's different. It's easy enough to get taken on something that's you know, a handbag that's a knockoff. But in jewelry, you can really get taken on the spot without being a personal expert, or then having to be able to have the time, money, wherewithal to be able to go get it checked out by someone else to do business. Estate. Estate to me means a deal, a bargain, a discount, a big discount. That's what I'm going to bring you. I am going to bring you back old-time estate items, and that is the meaning of the word estate. Let's get through the comments, get this show started. Here we go, the comments. All right, first one, great one from, of course, Dennis and Jan. And this is really sweet because I think Jan finally is speaking up instead of course, husband Dennis. And, of course, you remember Jan. Yeah, so you remember Jan had the loss in her family. And anyway, let me just read it. Okay. Hi, Shawn. Remember me? Jan, the one that's been around? LOL. I really wanted to thank you for sharing our story. It means so much to both of us. Also, we are saddened to hear about your mother and father. Speaking of it, I just was. We are deeply sorry for your loss. My purpose for writing you today is about the Madagascar sphene that Dennis bought from you and carried it with him every day. It was his first piece from you. I informed him it was like a worry stone. He'd never heard of that. Oh, yes. Yeah, worry stone. Also, remember, everybody, mojo bags. You don't have to just have one stone. You can get a little leather pouch, little bag. put those stones that you feel something special for. It doesn't have to be a power or a strength or have anything. It can just say, in any particular day, you look at a rock differently than you looked at it the day before. And, you know, Raven can discuss those things. She's really well in tune on those things. And she knows more kind of about that than I do. And she's helped me understand those powers and why I feel what I feel. I'm not a metaphysical, knowledgeable person about all those kind of things. I come from more of a scientific aspect of it, but from the scientific aspect of it has made me believe that there is properties to gems and minerals that may just make us feel better, and there may be science behind it, etc. Okay. I informed him it was like a worry stone. He'd never heard of that. We recently went to Kentucky to visit his relatives, and it got lost at the airport, but he since purchased other goodies to love. And you know what? That loss, it was probably meant also in a way, yes, it was tough to lose it, but he probably would have kept carrying that one. It was probably meant to change over to what he is loving now. A different, maybe he needs something different in life that those new objects are bringing him. And the other one, its purpose at the time that he had it, even though it'd be nice just to tuck it away still, but since oftentimes we can't let go, we're often are forced to let go and then to move on to the next item. Just a thought. I wonder if there's a chance you might have another one to sell. Another thing is, when we call to order from you, their operators don't allow us to. They say that they cannot sell anything from a different show. No. Ask to speak to the showroom manager. In the showroom with the sales there's always a showroom manager, and they're the ones that are much more familiar with everything. My show is considered a specialized show that can be sold in any show. And so, yeah, that I know. So just run with that. You may have gotten someone that wasn't familiar with that, or maybe didn't know how to do that, most likely. That's why I just said, just kindly ask to speak to the showroom manager. Just the fact that you know that there is one should help. Another thing is, when we call to, okay, I said that. To our Rocktown family, we hope your holidays rock. We love learning about you and reconnecting with Shawn after all the years I've been away. I'm glad to be back. Thank you, Shawn. It's true what they say. Being with old friends is good for the soul. XOXO, she writes. Absolutely. Hello, Rock family. This is from Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. Wow, that was some show, Shawn. Loved it. Yay for voting. That was our special election we had. Yay for the trivia envy. Yeah, it looks like Charles did well. He got a lot of trivia envy from that big blue topaz. Speaking of trivia, yes, which the questions were. Remember, a couple questions usually at the end of every show, so make sure you stick around so you can answer it. Everybody has won multiple times throughout the year. Name 3 other names given to iolite was the first question. Answers, well, a combination of them. You could say dichroite, cordierite, Viking stone, water sapphire. Those are but 4 of them. I think there's actually another one no, I guess iolite could be. So 5 different names, which is kind of unusual. A lot of stones don't have that many, but it has been known by those names. Dichroite, because it's very dichroic, in other words, changes color with the direction you look at it. Cordierite, more of an old one. Viking stone, going back to the Vikings used it. Anything that was polarized that they could turn, and they could actually figure out where the sun was, even on cloudy days. And water sapphire, because it does look very much like sapphire in particular directions. And then, of course, if you turn it in one direction, it goes clear. So I could see where it could be sapphire in one moment and kind of water clear the other. Second question was, how can you tell an almandine garnet from other garnets when they are set? And other tests are an option. Answer being a magnet. Best a neodymium magnet, one of those rare earth element magnets that are much more powerful. So those were the questions. Let's see who else gets them right. All right, so we have Miss Cindy getting dichrolite, microstone, water sapphire, and corduroy, getting them all right, and magnetism did well there. Everyone have a fantastic week. Cindy in South Central Pennsylvania. Fave of the show was the Australian emerald ring. That's a beauty. How old is it? That's a great question, because a lot of these items that you're going to see that I made, I had like the Edo period was to the Japanese, a period of time in my life where I was very prolific. I was very creative at the bench, very time to be artistic, and so most of these are going to run around 1995 to around 2002, 2003, probably in that range. Mostly during the 10 years I had my second jewelry store. So if that gives you an idea. The Australian emeralds, I remember buying those stones at the time and thinking that they were the coolest thing, and she did too. You're going to see also why, because she liked emeralds. You're going to get to see some more today. Not Australian though. That was the only Australian piece, so not sure if it's available, but if not, someone needs to grab that. Okay, so great choice there, Miss Cindy, for being a fave. Miss Gabby says, hello all, what a fun show. So enjoyed, and the new and unusual pieces. It was hard to narrow down my list, LOL. So happy to say I got the Mount Sit bracelet. She says the Sit bracelet. That's easy to say. Having been wanting to add this gem/rock to my collection for some time. I know, that was so amazing that I got that back. Trivia, Viking stone, cardiorite, and water sapphire. Also, the first thing I would use on the garnet is my neodymium magnet. I carry it along with a loop, and when out and about, along with a couple flashlights. A girl has to be prepared, you know. Never know when you might run into a rock. Absolutely. And it's funny, I should have left them in my pocket, because poor Raven had to get over me. She said, what do you need, Shawn? A pocket protector. Now, I wouldn't ever go that far, but I literally had 3 flashlights and my favorite pen. A long time ago, a businessman, a very wealthy businessman, very successful businessman, would judge, when he did interviews, one of his judgments he made, and a very important one he made, on whether the applicant had a pen in his pocket. He said, we're all about business here. He goes, if my employees aren't ready to do business, then I'm not ready for them to be an employee. And how many times I can tell you that I have been in like an airport line, filling out a little immigration form or something, and I felt so stupid so many times by having to borrow someone else's pen that I, long ago, started carrying a pen and never forget. I mean, I don't go out really, to go to a farmer's market or something like that without a pen in my pocket. And also now, I don't like to touch other people's pens or stuff or anything, for one reason, but I was doing that long before. So, yeah, but the 3 flashlights, she said, Shawn, I can understand a pen. Yeah, so you know why? Of course, we have the one that is, has the same wavelength of light for this, not the United States, no, this particular latitude where Georgia is. Kelvin, remember? Lighting is measured in Kelvin, but that's for another day. That's equivalent to the wavelength of the sun. Then I have the alternate light source that would, between this one and this one, create color change between stones. Then I have to show you my new, now I have so many, but this is my newest and latest. We'll talk about it later. I just love having that one. Okay, now, so let's finish here. Okay, so I am glad to see that Miss Gabby knows how to be prepared, because yes, so, and a loop, always, because I am always needing a loop, and I learned how to, of course, in jewelry a long time ago to always have a loop. Be well and stay safe, everyone. Miss Gabby. Miss Gabby, I want to see a picture of that Christmas tree. It should be all tricked out with all those wonderful ornaments. From Harry in Pennsylvania. Hey, Professor Shawn and lovely Miss Raven, as well as the amazing GSN staffers that make all the magic happen, and also getting these products out the door in amazing packaging. And Charles, who won the blue topaz, will have the great opportunity to see this for the first time when he gets the amazing large topaz stone he won on the trivia shipped out to him. Gee whiz, I can't even find a nice piece of that rough. Oh man, are you blessed by this gemstone, and what a perfect color. So Charles, truly enjoy the gift. Wow, a stunning win for you. And I'm experiencing just a bit of trivia envy. LOL. Holy cow, he says. Yeah, that was the stunning blue topaz. And great job for Charles to have won it. And one thing, though, I can say is the shipping department here is amazing. You know, they bubble wrap and you know, to where I think things would bounce. Doing such an amazing job on packing, so yeah. I can't watch half of these items. I want them all, LOL. And my favorite is the iolite ring, Shawn. I have a couple small pieces I want to cut, but not yet. I want to say I do not like flaws in the amethyst. I demand all my quartz stones I have cut are all natural and mostly flawless to the unaided eye, like the amethyst Portuguese cut oval. I saw that, beautiful. And bazillion colors, and has all the colors in it that would categorize it as a Siberian color. Love the bezel set diamond ring as well. It's nice. I wish I could sell some of my large stones. Very nice items this show. Nice. Oh, my amethyst does have zoning in it, but we'll hidden it. No, you know, no. Harry, don't apologize for zoning in your amethyst anymore. We want that there. You want that there. That is what distinguishes it and tells you and anybody else that it is natural. There is so very much lab-grown synthetic amethyst that's the, you want it to be there. It's really almost like having, wanting, you know, in your Russian demantoid, a horsetail inclusion, which I thought was always kind of, well, you want a flaw in your stone? Well, yes, sometimes you do. And in the case of amethyst, you want to be able to tell it's natural amethyst. Other than that, you know what I would do? If I did not see any flaws or any inclusions at all, I would automatically digress to it being lab grown. So yeah, it's really something that I would, I probably, it's like the big high-end sapphire buyers, they want to see cross-checkered rutile, silk rutile in the sapphire. That's the only thing that tells them that there even hasn't been low heat heating done to it. It's something that they would prefer. And I fully understand that now with the myriad of treatments going on out there. So, yeah. Don't ever apologize for inclusions when it helps you to have them. Trivia answers. 3 or 4 names. I like corduroyite, dichroite, blue Benny Buster blue, big old blue. Ah, that Harry and a sense of humor. Number 2, garnet ring, test with magnet. I said this before you finished the question. Just do put a very strong horseshoe magnet my father gave me up to the tube of our older color TV set screen. OMG, I killed our television. Much love to you all, Harry. P.S. Check out my amethyst. Yeah, I did. It was beautiful, beautiful, Harry. And yes, I've done that too, believe it or not. But I haven't, I wouldn't use a neodymium. I think that just about sucks the magnetism out of everything. Peggy says, Shawn, Raven, Gem Crew, and The Rock and Unusual Lovers. Wow, wow, wow. What a show. I can't control my excitement. Because it is Christmas, I was able to buy myself some presents. You always come up with ways to keep your show fresh and magical. Everything was so beautiful and top shelf. I missed out on the turtle and dog carvings, but I was able to score the koi fish. Cool. Guess I needed the extra luck because I also bought myself the Shawn made garnet ring. Beautiful garnets. My birthstone and my daddy's. I guess, let's see, yeah. OMG, I was so happy it was still available. I had prize envy of the beautiful blue topaz. Good job, Charles. Only thing that I missed in the show was the last offering of zeolite. I checked again, but it wasn't there. I guess all the beautiful pieces you showed overwhelmed my senses. LOL trivia, getting them right. Yep, this was a tricky question. If I had to figure out what kind of garnet, I could verify it with a magnet. That's correct. I would use a loupe and my eyes to verify its color. I know this is a wrong answer, but I had to try. Well, I don't see where there's anything wrong with saying magnet. That's the right answer. It helps identify particular types of garnet, mostly the iron-bearing ones. So there you go, almandine being the one that reacts the strongest to it. And after that, that's how you can be assured that you have an andradite versus a grossular. Both could be green, but one has iron and will react to a magnet. So very important for the garnet family. Keep well, Shawn. This is the best month of the year. Twinkle lights everywhere, no bugs at night, and getting to wear my great winter clothes makes this time of year my favorite. Find your joy. I did. Miss Peggy. And yes, Miss Peggy, I am finding my joy back again after being able to get past my family issues and all. I'm really, really happy. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, this may be a couple days late for all of you, but I'm going to say it anyway because I love to watch the sky, love to watch meteors. I have the Geminid meteor shower tonight. Last night it rained, couldn't see it, so I'm hoping for a clear night tonight. I think it's about the last opportunity to get to see it. Should be pretty neat. And remember, we sell meteors here, meteorites after they hit the ground. So, hey, commenting on when the meteor showers are is just another part of the show. Miss Barber, hello, Professor Raven, GSN crew, and the whole Rock family. Happy Monday. Show dropped at 10:25 in the morning EST, and what a super show it was. I know, made up for the one that I missed, huh? The all-new, all-glittery, never-before-seen extravaganza. Grab the Ocean Jasper pendant. I was wondering who's going to get that. Oh, Raven wanted that. She's got some amazing Ocean Jasper. She didn't need another one. Can double as a talisman to ward off the evil eye. And the tactile carved peaches. Yes, have you seen the recent news about peaches in relationship to China? Google it. And you'll A lady who makes and markets Bali silver jewelry with the Kuan Yin style faces just calls them goddess faces. That's probably a good way to overall get around saying that without having to go in and, quantify who Kuan Yin is or the rest. But it is a very much Kuan Yin face. But you're right. To say a goddess face, much easier. As to the trivia, iolite, called dichroite, Viking stone, getting all that right. I would use a magnet to check for iron content in a red-colored stone. Strong magnetic attraction can mean mostly almandine, and that's the iron-rich member of the garnet family, as garnets are notoriously incestuous. Yes, they are. Intercalating freely with other family members. Further study would be necessary to be sure. Hope your windfall makes for a happier Christmas season at your house. Yes, we were able to actually have a Christmas tree this year. Everybody be safe. Getting together for the holidays, again, can be fun and a trap at the same time. Don't let your guard down and spend your new year in the ICU. We want happy endings in 2022. Miss Barbara from Brooklyn, 73 and COVID-free. Yippee. I agree with you about that. And yes, I had to get out, which I seldom do, but I put on my mask. It didn't matter. I'm not messing around. I had that stuff once. I'll get it again. Even though I'm all tripled, quadrupled, shot up with as many, I get my COVID booster. Speaking back to the garters, Malaya. You've heard the term Malaya, spelled a couple different ways. But let me go ahead, since we have an adult audience now, and I'm not in a television time slot where we cautioned our words a little bit easier. When you hear the term Malaya garnet, let me just actually explain a little bit more to you what that means. Malaya garnet is the name of garnet that was coined in the Swahili language. And what it basically is, you could start off by saying it's almandine and pyrope. The Malaya family extends into color change garnets. And once you get into color change garnets, then you get into chromium, you get into vanadium, you can get into where it can be part grossular, part spessartine. The term Malaya, we used to say on the live show that I did for 9 years, even in the late night Monday night, but we used to say that it meant out of the family. For just a nice way to say that the actual meaning of the Malaya, or the best, closest way it translates, is prostitute. So you have the Malaya family of garnet meant, so out of the family goes actually with that, and explains why they called it that. Because of the garnet family is very incestuous, like Miss Barbara said. You pull in these other garnet elements from the other families from it. And just like the Swahili meaning of the word, it can impart into the garnet an element from out of the family and create a new type of garnet. And in this case, the Malaya garnets, many of them having beautiful color changes. So just explaining that if you were never told the rest of the meaning. All right, Mr. Anthony says from Massachusetts, hello all, you promised and delivered. The estate pieces were amazing. Unfortunately for me, I missed out on a couple pieces that were talking to me. But I know more are coming. Trivia, you're getting everything right. And the magnet. Funny you mentioned the color difference of Mount Sit now to the older material. I got either from you or your other show back in the day, a large piece, evenly colored, split the old nice dark chrome green color and the more recent lighter green. Just a real nice collector piece. Eyes down. You saw Mr. Anthony? You're right. Those amazing old Mount Sit I hadn't seen. That bracelet, old stock. Again, couple decades ago is from whence that bracelet came. Miss Elisa from Florida says, hello, Professor Shawn, the lovely Raven, GSN crew, and Rock family. I hope everyone is having a good Thanksgiving. Shawn, the items you had are just amazing. I'm so glad you're able to see all those items again. My answer to this week's trivia questions are, well, getting everything right there as well. Thank you for another great show. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, everyone. Miss Elisa. We have Charles. Charles says, ciao, Professor Shawn, GSN crew and Rock family. I can't wait to get that huge topaz in the mail. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of other people, Charles, would have liked it as well. Part of me does not feel worthy. Don't feel that way. Worthy. Some of the others might. They'll feel differently. No, I'm just teasing. I feel worthy to receive such a treasure. I am going to have to let the initial exuberance die down before I decide what to do with it. Thank you so very much. Furthermore, thank you for sorting out the Indian Star Ruby. It will be here soon, and I am very excited. You know, things end up wherever they're supposed to be in this show, and a lot of magic does happen, Charles. So for that blue topaz, as much as everybody else would have loved to have won it, you're the one that was supposed to have it for whatever reason. It's just the way it works. Those silver pendants were so unique. We tried to get one, but it was gone, even though the video had been posted for less than 2 hours. 2 hours is a long time to wait. Sorry, Charles, you'll learn that. Yeah, it's all good. I reckon I will keep screenshots for when I start silversmithing next year. Definitely my style. Do that. That's how you do. Start collecting the styles that you like to work with. And if anybody notice anything, speaking about styles like to work with, what is back on my hand? What did I tell you? That ruby and platinum ring that I made for so long ago that Raven worked so hard to get back into my life because I had made it. And you know, she was, I remember her even watching her pay it $100 at a time to get it back from the person I made it for. Because I made it for this person on the condition that if he ever wanted to sell it, it was his stone. It's a Burma ruby. If he ever wanted to sell the ring, that to see me first, because I was interested in it back. So, remember just the other week, 2 weeks ago, I told you that it had sold in me trying to do fundraising. But this is the ring that Raven bought for me as our ring of, well, you would call it your wedding ring. And that's what I had to do because of the value in it. And that's what I was down to. But I would, oh, believe me, we cried. We cried when I had to sell it. And it sold. It sold right away. But then, in between, things happened with this estate, and I wouldn't have needed to sell it. And lo and behold, the client returned the ring. Normally that would be a bad thing. It'd be like, well, maybe GSN isn't so happy about it. But that is the policy, and for whatever reason, doesn't matter to me, it came back to me. It came back to its home. That is magic. And then she and I cried over that again, because it wound up back where it was supposed to be. So yeah. Aside from bears and critters, have you captured any paranormal activity or Sasquatch on your trail cameras in the woods? With love, Charles. As a matter of fact, Charles, don't get us started, because actually, Raven and I, yes, we sit at the edge of 25,000 acres of the Dawson Wildlife Management Area. We tend to believe, or want to believe, in that this earth has, there's critters on this earth that have never been discovered. We just want to believe that they're out there. So yes, we believe in Sasquatch. Or we believe in believing in Sasquatch. How's that? I have trail cams down there. 8 different bear. 8 different in 1 year recorded on it. And it's only 110 yards down the hill from our back porch. Needless to say, it's not somewhere you just wander around in the woods at night or any time of day. And so we keep that in mind. So yes, we have seen, there's fox, there's deer, there's wild turkey. There is every animal we have seen in our backyard, except Sasquatch. But that's because he's hiding from us. You know what? I found a coyote den. The opening wasn't much wider than maybe 1.5 feet. I ended up putting my GoPro camera in there, linked to my phone, before I went and stuck my head in there. And there could have been 3 grown men would have fit in the den that was hollowed out by this small hole. So you see a small hole in the ground, you never know what's lurking back in that hole. It might be a lot more and bigger than what you thought. That was educational. So yeah, a lot of fun in the woods, besides gold in them thar hills. We have Mr. Joseph, new to the show. Hi, Shawn. Answer to your trivia question is how to tell a garnet. The answer is a magnet. And the other question, the name I like, Viking stone, water sapphire, quarterite. Sorry for my spelling. We don't take off for spelling. I have been a long enthusiast of your show. I love the educational aspect of your show. You're just our kind of family member. Welcome to the show. We love to hear from new posters. And with that, with all those right answers, what we do, we assign a number to each name, put them in a hat, a proverbial hat. Normally I just ask Dave or Asu, I said, to pick a number between 1 and whatever, and whoever wins, wins. It's amazing how that works. It just works out. So the things end up with the right person at the right time. This week, our winner is, and I love for it to happen that way. I don't do it that way, but it's so neat when it does. I love when we get someone new, and then they turn out to be the winner. And in this case, Joseph, congratulations, you won. Let me show you what you won. We have never had this item in or on the show before, and it is from that estate, a gemstone tree. Except this is a gemstone tree, kind of, I'll show you the color a little bit more. It's the really high-end Madeira citrine, tumbled Madeira citrines, and you see some of these and they're, kind of not very attractive. Not the case with this one. Now, if any of these end up like coming off, just reattach them with some epoxy or glue or whatever you want, because it is an estate piece. But this is all wrapped and wired, and there's a little dove or bird floating in the tree. The quality of the citrine, I had to make sure they weren't spessartine garnets or a a grossular garnet, hessonite. They were so nice. And then also you can see the banded agate. Beautiful. You have some lovely quartz crystals in the middle, some lovely banding in and polished on the Brazilian agate as well. And I'll let you explore the rest when you receive that. Enjoy. Congratulations to Joseph and welcome to the show. All right, let me tuck that away. We'll be right back with the start. Okay, all right, bringing out the goods, items you haven't seen in this show before, but items that have never been shown before, and these are, well, anyway, remember, estate. Wait till you hear. Have a price in your mind as you're looking at this, because wait till you hear what I'm going to tell you. All right, serpentine. Look at this material. Now, oftentimes these older carvings that aren't of jadeite, they're either of soapstone, which of course is a, well, it's in the family of talcs and whatnot. Serpentine, it's a harder material, can be found in qualities like antigerite or bowenite, some beautiful qualities that resemble very much of a high quality jade. Nephrite or jadeite. Comes in all kinds of colors depending on the impurities. This, I don't know, I called it a chocolate and a golden color, whatever color you might find in between. This, look at this, it is a real functioning vase. And boom, look at that, all the way down in there. Yes, and it's heavy, nice weight. It will support a whole bunch of flowers if you actually want to use it for that. And why not? Water doesn't hurt serpentine. Give us a quick tour of the carving itself. Now remember, this is all carved out of one piece. So when you have to go back in and around, hoping not to bump or chip or break off any of this detail, look at that as you're doing so. Really amazing work. And it's always fun to try to notice exactly what it is the carver has carved. Now you may think, oh, just some leaves, but upon closer look, maybe if they're oak leaves, there's a particular meaning. If that's a chrysanthemum, there's a particular meaning. There's always an intention. Just look up, like let's say chrysanthemum, meaning in Chinese folklore or something like that, and it will tell you what the idea and why the carver might have done so. If this would have been an urn for any particular kind of remains or something, it might be have to do with the afterlife. You never know. Always association, and always look for fu, the word for bat, the word for prosperity and money. It sounds the same. And why the bat is often hidden carved into carvings. Now, this is a piece, I don't know how much it would actually sell for. It could be far beyond. I have so many things to do and amazing items to offer today that I'm just going to breeze through offering some of these things because I could just keep going on about them. But you can see that this, oh, the biggest thing. Here we go, the hash mark, which you always look for, sometimes very difficult to find. Hash mark, or basically the carver's signature, and there it is right there, right there. So that's special to find. This piece, can you imagine, have a price in your mind so that when I tell you that it is only $88, $88. Next item, 1087. So I can read again. I'm going to get glasses for Christmas. 108792. You know, I actually had to bring an optovisor so I could actually look at my own. Yeah, 108782. Nope. Oh yeah. That's it. 108782. I'll get it right on the 14th time. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this. Now, here is another serpentine carving, or serpentinite. You can see it also written that way as serpentinite. And this, look at that. again, carved out of one piece. Now, named, yeah, this is an oldie but goodie, named in 1564 for Latin for serpens, meaning snake, due to the mottled green and other colors. Well, that's a good name. Antigorite, chrysotile, lizardite being the most common, are just some of the other varieties of serpentine like I talked about. Now, what you'll find on something like this I could tell that it has been carved, and then they'll go in, and it's not, I'm not sure, of course, any of the old techniques that they use, I'm not sure everything that they would use to do highlighting. So they go in and they'll put, like, I guess a stain over it, and then they'll highlight some of the stain areas, or over time, some of the areas where it might receive wear, some of that color, like you see there, might, look at that, wear off. And that's what you see, and a giveaway or a tell that you have a staining on there. Of course, seeing the color going from here to there kind of tells you that as well. Chinese bloodstone, I left that on there. It was on there. And this has nothing to do with bloodstone, just to let you know. But that's where misnomers, of course, are across the mineral trade for centuries. That's why some stones have so many names, because everybody wants to rename them. But you can see it has also been carved. There's, you know, if you take a picture of that, and you can pull it up and find out what that says. I'm sure there's a meaning to it. But again, carving on the side of there also, and 2 intertwined dragons. I love dragons. And very, very cool. Oh, here, I actually brought, let me see, unless I lost it on my very confusing desk here, I wanted to show you what I use. You know, just leave it to, and of course, you know, Raven's in the house, but is she right here next to me? No. I wanted to show you what I use for dusting such things, but I will get back to you on on that because I can't find it right now. But that's kind of the way the day has been going. But I'm not going to let that get me down, because what is that in the big scope of life? Okay, next item. We've got so many things to do. Let's look at 108. 9822. This is a okay, so yeah, this is one. We have Latif behind working the graphics today. Good to see Latif. 108.
How much is this?
Oh, yes, thank you. $44. Latif, don't throw anything at me. I know. Latif already said on that other carving, both of them, Dave and Latif both said, you got to be kidding me, Shawn. He goes, that is all you're asking for? I said, I know. But you know what? It's more expensive if I have to show it a second time. So better to sell it the first time around. We're going to move some goods, just like last week's show, or the last time I did a show. Same thing is going to happen here. You guys are going to take advantage of it. Maybe it was good I gave you an extra week, save a few extra pennies so that you can get in on more goodies, because you're going to want this next item. This next item, 1089822. I have never shown you a stone of this quality. Hold on. Of this, I thought I had a little white gizmo, but oh, there it is. Emerald pendants on it. I have never seen, but of course I actually set this up, so I guess I saw it at one point, but to see this quality now, remember, this is decades ago. Wait till you see this citrine. This is when you could occasionally find something as magnificent as that. Yeah, so that is, what did my mind see? 10899. I did read that wrong, 22. Madeira citrine. Look at that. Now you notice that's a different color than Iraí. Don't be confused. This is a deeper, richer, more red. That's where the Madeira name coming from. Look at the color. Look at the color. That is a citrine that, wow, that does look great in that. Look at the cutting on that. Look at, let me put that even against, look at that. Magnificent, magnificent. Diamond, nice sized diamond. Nice size, look at that bale, big bale, big bale. I set this up a long time ago. Oh, wow. And if I look at this, it certainly looks like it's a, I was going to say modified Portuguese, but it's more of a, kind of like a scintillator brilliant. A lot of facets. I like the small table. See that small table? That's a good, you want to see that in a big stone. Look at the color in that. Okay, price on this. You know, I actually saw, I crossed my heart. I actually saw citrine of this quality being offered for $100 a carat. And it was within the last year. And they were selling one after the other. $100 a carat, that would make that stone over $800 just for the citrine. But here and now, estate opportunity, $288. $288, there will not be a second one. These are one-of-a-kind deals. One-of-a-kind deals right here. And let me just sit that right. Well, we won't take much time. That's what we need Raven for, so she can keep me moving a little bit there. Wow. Wow. Truly amazing. Now, don't forget, you can always, if you want it in something else, take it out of the setting, use the setting for something else. That's a very versatile setting, classic basket style, very versatile for many different purposes. You can open the prongs up, you can pull them in. A lot of leeway as to what you can do. Now, wait till you, yeah, okay. I'm so excited about so many things here. I don't, let's see, Mr. Latif, if we have item 1087922 in there. No? I can show something else. That's from 2 weeks ago. Oh no, actually, it's from this past, it's on the list. Do you see it? Because I can be showing it while you're writing it up. That's how fresh this inventory is. Hasn't even been entered in the system. I'm going to show it. You typing it?
I don't see that on the list.
Okay, that's from the 2 weeks ago then. Well, I tell you what, let's just enter this for the moment. Here we go. Here's the info because I do want to show this item. Look at this. All right, everyone knows what's coming up. PowerShell abalone box, inlay, estate item with miniature blue-white boxes inside. Now, I'm going to be holding it with one hand while the other hand, let's see if we can do this, is, yeah. So, I'm going to distract everybody. Here we go. Here is the box. Now, here's how it started out, and here is how I found it. When I found it, I first opened it up like this. All right, look at that inlay work. Now, PowerShell, of course, I've shown you PowerShells. They have, they're from the abalone, and they're native to the waters around New Zealand, and often called marine opal because the inside of, did you get all the info off here, Latif? Okay, because the inside of the shell has all these amazing colors. So look at this, see that is inlaid right into this lacquer finished box. And look at this bird even over here. Let's go in close real quick for just a moment and show you just some of the color and the detail. I think I have that actually probably, well, it looks great either way. Ah, there we go. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? All inlaid into there. But inside the box, now, they're not meant, this is not, the lid doesn't even close all the way. So it's just a kind of like an extra. these aren't meant to go in here. I just used it as a storage box because all of these other boxes come with it. And these are all these, well, they have little clasps that open up. And ladies, maybe you're more familiar with these than I am. It looks like there's a couple of heart shapes, hexagonal shape. They all have hinges and clasps, yeah, you have to push in, snap little clasps. All right, here's the deal. For everything that you see, you get the big box with the little box, the works, for $48. I kid you not. Everything, $48, which includes 8 of those boxes. Only $48. That's a deal. That is a deal. Of course, you know that. Okay, so let me move this over here. Right. Okay, next, let me show you. Here is, oh boy, is this I custom made this a long time ago. Let's look at item. Easy for me to say. 1090022. 1090022. And wow, I remember when I made this piece. This is a custom-made emerald and diamond pendant. These are Colombian emeralds, and it is the emeralds. Of course, remember, green is always a difficult color to capture because the color in these stones and the clarity are stunning, and the green and the vibrance of them really, really bright. Really bright, nice large size bale. So I actually hand rolled out the gold, including the tapering of it, as you can see. Sometimes the client would have me, sometimes she'd come in with her own design. Other times she'd just leave it up to me. Graduating diamonds, and then on the back, if we come in closer here, and if I turn it the right way, you can see, since this was made in, well, let's see if we can read that. There is the S, and remember, my my hash mark, so to speak, for what I do is the year I made the piece, bracketed by my name's initials. And so on this one, this incredible piece, you can see the S's, and it follows 00. I know you can't see quite the other S, 00. In the year 2000, made in the year 2000, and it's 18 karat. This happens to be one that you get the same date, no matter which way you turn it. I don't do hand engraving so well, but hand inscripting. S00, S, 18 karat gold. Oh yes, could you change that to 18 karat, please, Latif? I need to change it on the tag as well. Look at that. Look at that. And again, this is one of those, when you see it in person, you will be delighted because of the emeralds. The quality of the emeralds and the color in person, very vibrant. And just a piece that screams, of course, custom made. And opportunity on pricing because it's an estate piece. Have an idea in mind. if I was looking at this and having an idea in mind, it would certainly be above the $2,000 mark. But how would you like to get this for $888? $888. The diamonds, of course, all white, which I color, consider anywhere from GHI in color, and all eye clean. Very bright, lively piece. All right, let me tuck a couple of these things away. I'll be right back. All right, this is something you're not going to see in many of any shows, especially discounted. This is, now, I am really picky about my chains. I have sent off so much new gold and just melted it. Yep, sent it to the refiner. But because it's all these other designs and styles, and you know what all they do? Like the quad link herringbone. What a disaster that stuff came out when they came out. They roll it out so thin, you can't even repair it as a goldsmith without a big old nasty mark in it, and it snags. It's a mess. There's some designs in chain that should never be made. Like, I don't even like diamond cut rope. You know why? Because when they do the diamond cut, they cut a flat edge on the link, and when they do that, they create sharp surfaces, and they create a thin place where they ground the gold off of. That's where it has to come from somewhere, and it's an inferior product. But the regular rope chain is very strong. You're gonna see one of those in a minute, but one of my favorite chains, I only have like 3 that I recommend that are strong to wear with most anything. One of them is cable link, another one, box link. That's what this is. 24-inch box link chain, and these are really strong. A little chain like this, which for box link in that little, can carry a lot of weight. This is a long chain, 24 inches long, and here is the catch, and really can recommend box. Plus, I can actually, if this breaks, I can actually fix a box link, and I go, oh, great. I go in and I'm able to clip it, link it together, and solder it, and you could never tell the difference. And it's still flexible. So, with a good goldsmith, they're completely repairable without notice. Price on this, $298. And believe me, this is down in the way the market is set. It's at the lowest price I can possibly actually offer this for. $298. 24-inch long chain. That gives you a big, long look. Let me show you next. You're going to love this item. 1088822. 1088822. Now, this item and the next one are going to come with a little... Huh? Did I give you the same item number? It's my eyes. Hold on. Let me read that. Oh, yeah. 1089822. The ink kind of bled almost over, closing up the loop. 1089822. Let me show you. Okay, if I was going to show you, look at this, a pearl necklace that is this long. Wow, look at that. Unless I told you this was fresh water, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. Now, most pearls are measured like 7, 7.5, 7.5, 8, because of the variance in millimeters. They usually run in a range. This one, when I went down through 10 pearls and got them all at 7.5, I just called it 7.5. These are so round and have an incredible luster. They are estate. They have no clasp because they are, let's put the length up there. It is, oh, I don't even have that on there. Boy, I blew that. There's 108 pearls, so we'll get that in there. 100 and, or is that 6? I can't, 106, excuse me. 106 pearls, and it is 36 inches long. 36 inches long. And here's the neat thing, when you have a claspless necklace like this and it's that long, you can double it over just like that. You can create all these other neat looks it can look like two necklaces and only be one. Plus, ladies, I don't do really well at doing this, but y'all know how to do it. How you tie that fancy little knot. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, here we go. When you tie that little knot in the pearls like that, look, I can do that. And create that cool look. That's another thing you can do with them when they're this long. Beautiful. I'm going to leave them up there for a moment. They're only $148. $148. You say, yeah, but they're fresh water. Okay, let's look at item 1089722. 1089722. Now, what I'm getting ready to show you is going to come with just a wee little bit of a lesson. These are same length, 36 inches. Now these are 7.5 to 8, and they're cultured. In other words, they're the saltwater cultured pearl, like Mikimoto originally came out and discovered how to culture pearls in the 1920s. There's approximately 100 pearls here. So that represents the difference in 6 pearls being the same length represents a slight difference in the millimeters. These are 7.5/8, just a little bit bigger. So of course, for the same length, you're going to have a few less pearls. Let me show you. Now, let's compare these two, and here's where the lesson comes. Now, the price. Let's give you the price of the cultured pearls, and believe me, this does not represent the actual value or what these would cost in any other environment, okay? It's even below what an estate price should be on these. I just wanted to make them as super value. Remember, you can always have these restrung into 2 18-inch necklaces. This is only $448. If you made 2 18-inch necklaces out of it, you're only looking at $224 a necklace. That's, wow, is what it is for 7.5 to 8. Now, if you ask somebody in a jewelry store, what's a big pearl? They're going to say 6.5 are really big. Well, there's a big difference in pricing, huge. Once you go 7 millimeter or larger, the price really jumps up. And incrementally, each half millimeter, it's kind of like a diamond. When you jump over certain marks, like the 1.5 carat mark, the 2 carat mark, the 2.5 carat mark, 3 carat mark, those kind of things. That's what happens when you get to pearls, when you get past the 7 millimeter mark. And then when you get to the 7.5, when you're at the 7.5 to 8s, wow, that's a big pearl. That's what I consider a really big pearl. Okay, keep in mind, the outside, these are the less expensive. Now, let's compare the two. All right, well, for one, you can actually see on the left, the cultured, the saltwater pearl are a little bit bigger, even through the visual. Remember, we said these are straight 7.5s, these are 7.5/8. You can see them. Now, as we come in closer, let's just come into an area right in here, Dave. You can see that you say, well, these ones on the right, they look like they have a better, maybe you would say, shine. Well, it's called luster, and that may be the case. That is because it's much less expensive to grow a freshwater pearl, that you don't have the conditions of storms, of red tides, of all these other different critters in salt water that can kill the oyster. When you're growing freshwater, your environment is so much easier to control. Much more to that, but that's the basics for one of the reasons why freshwaters are less expensive. Now, you can see also, though, how to tell the difference between a freshwater and a cultured. Well, for one thing, depending on how you grade them, but for one thing, you can see the cultured pearl, they're much more round overall, round. And what you do is you just take them and you roll them on something flat, is how you can see how wompity-womp they are. And that's a legal official term, wompity-womp. With the laughter comes that. No, I'm just joking there. You can see in the freshwater to the outside, one of the ways you can tell, they're called cercles, or a circle. Let's look in on, right here is fine, anywhere, Dave, on this. For one thing, they're a little bit out of round. They're a little squished, right? You can see that. Not all of them, but that you can see on them. And the other thing, we can just pick this one. You see these rings, the circles around them? Not all of them have it, but many of them do. That's a tell. That's a giveaway that they are freshwater. But if you're, look at that, see that? But if you're looking at them from a distance, you don't see that. And not all of them have that. But that's one of the other ways that you can tell. And you want to know that. You need to know that. Because if you bite on them, the way you tell, you know, whether it's a real pearl or not, it's not going to tell you whether they're freshwater or saltwater. It's just going to tell you that they actually have nacre on the outside. And by the way, the biting thing, you can just rub it against your tooth and you'll feel grittiness versus really slick. If it just slides across your tooth without any kind of grit feeling, then you have fakes altogether. All right, you have two pearls. You have $148, you have $448. The $148 should easily be 2 to 3 times that. This 36-inch long, 7.5, 8 millimeter should be 5 times that. Yeah, this is an amazing opportunity. You can break this down to where you can have a bracelet made out of it and still have a, still have a 28-inch necklace. I mean, there's so much with 36 inches of pearls you could do. And again, you can doubly these up and whatnot. But the way she wore these, she actually wore the two together. She loved, you know, which is always a lot of fun. Pearls actually bumping against each other. This sounds good as they jangle. And so she had them both the same length and really enjoyed them. You can see these, the difference in color. These cultured pearls go up extra, exponentially when the luster goes up any, when it doesn't take much. But the other important thing, these are very clean, very few blemishes on the cultured pearl piece. A lot of blemishes can reduce the value substantially, but these, relative to most cultured pearls, are actually considered very blemish free. The salt water, I mean, the fresh waters, you saw not only the cerclays they had, but they had so many, a lot of other kind of little issues, but you didn't see it from a distance. And so for the money, that's a great value. But if you want an heirloom item to hand down that you don't have yet, here's the great thing about pearls. They can be worn with blue jeans or an evening gown, and they are always end up to be an heirloom item. You always hear about, I inherited these from my mother, or these were my grandmother's. And that's what you can start, is an heirloom situation with a strand of pearls that is long enough that if you have two daughters, you can make two 18-inch necklaces, which would be wonderfully suitable. You just have a lot of options if you want to be restrung. They don't need to be restrung as they are. They'll work just fine for you. $448 for the cultured, $148 for the fresh water. Wow. Wow. We'll be right back. Check this out. Special reserve right here. Now, this did not come from the estate, as we will call it, the estate. This is from Shawn's collection. Beautiful piece. Incredible Moroccan azurite and goethite, which we know is an iron oxide often found with it. Look at this. Now, if you wondered what azurite crystals look like, this is a great example to have for comparison. This has azurite on all sides. You have a little bit of goethite, as you can see in the black, and as we go in just a little bit closer on this, you'll be able to see what azurite's often noted for is some of the blading in the formation of the crystal. This is an exceptional piece to actually not see any malachite with it, which has an almost identical formula to it. Really, really wonderful. Really wonderful. Has an incredible color, azurite going way back in history and in time. This has crystals on all sides, a little bit of limonite there, the black goethite. And a super pricing opportunity. $68 on that. Yep, only $68 on that one. Let's go to item number 10892222. And I tell you what, here is one you just don't get to see many of. A Moldavite ring. I kid you not, the real deal. Look at that Moldavite. Moldavite is a tektite. A tektite is created by the impact of a meteor with the Earth, ejecting silica matter into the atmosphere, but not so far that it leaves our atmosphere, comes back down as part of a strewn field. This is part of the famous Reese crater occurring about 15 million years ago. And out of all the tektites around the world, and Indochinites and Australites, they name them after the area that of the impact. So Georgia, the state of Georgia, actually have some Georgiites. Very rare to find, much more rare than Moldavite, but none of them are as pretty as the color in Moldavite. The way you can tell genuine Moldavite, when you look at it, it'll have little swirls in it, just like as if you blew the glass, blown glass, and also air bubbles. This is surrounded by approximately 40 diamonds, checkerboard cut, and let me put the white behind it. You can see, just for Moldavite, very clean. It takes a lot bigger piece to cut to get a stone out of it. And I say that because size, it matters when it comes to Moldavite. Very rare the larger Moldavite is. They only are found only so big. I mean, in other words, there's none found the size of a baseball. There's none found, well, the biggest one is not much bigger than a golf ball, and that would be extremely, extremely rare. 14 karat gold. The estate, the client loved unusual items like that, and Moldavite, of course, in the metaphysical world has a lot of meaning and importance to it as well. It is found in the South Bohemian region of the Czech Republic. Hardness of glass, so it will wear accordingly like that, but with the bezel set and the low profile, shouldn't have any problem. I like the mounting. It's a larger size, so it's around a size 10 1/4, can be sized to anything that you want. And the really the best value to it is the price on this, and just something that you just won't see able to be priced anywhere near this opportunity. And wow, that opportunity being, yep, let's do this. Only, wow, let's look at the weight. Look at the amount of gold in this one. Let me make sure. Let me see. Did I get that? Yeah, it's 6.8 grams. I don't think it's 68 grams. I wish I was thinking like, how does the math come out on? Oh, no, never mind. That was the azurite. I told you, it's rock. So everything's fine. Price on this Moldavite piece, here it is, $588. $588. What a gem. 14 karat gold. Now, we only have moments, but I'm going to take every moment I have to get as many pieces in front of you as I can. Item 1090222. 1090222. And this brand new item, but still from the estate, and something you don't get to see very often, really ever offered, which is kind of surprising because I have always been a fan, as you know, of whether they're boxes or poison rings or things that open up. As you know, boxes have always been, especially, we'll check this out. Look at this. Look at the size of this sterling silver engraved locket. And, plenty large enough to hold multiple pictures. And, of course, look at that. Wonderfully machined finish. And Here is, again, how you know you're working with an estate pricing, only $28. $28. If you have family that you need to fit a couple few pictures in, that one will certainly do it. You can see it in the size of my hand. That's the other nice thing. It's larger than what you normally see in lockets. Let's look at item number 1090322. 1090322. And here I made these little bubble wrap baggies myself with a stapler. Probably not a good idea, but they work good at first until you poke yourself with them. Okay, look at this. Look at this carving. Lapis. This goes back in ancient times. We talked about azurite being around a long time. Lapis. Lapis has it beat. 14 karat gold up here, and look at the carvings. Always look at the carvings. They always are going to have a meaning to them. This is carved double side. I didn't see a peach, but I think they're apple, but you might want to look at some of the unseen items. Like, is that a potential stork or an egret? I know both, or like an ibis, or both are important in the Asian culture. Double-sided carving, Afghan lapis. Price on this, I have, again, how about this? Only $68 on that. $68 on that. Now, as I scramble here, I have item, because I want to try to get a mix, not just jewelry, but kind of some of everything else we've been showing, because I have so much of everything. 1089422, 1089422. Okay, well, this one is Brazilian amethyst. There is 30 carats. They're 9x7, faceted in 14 stones. And let me just put these right here. 30 carats, 14 stones, 9x7. And I took these out of a bracelet. They are all in great shape. But the bracelet just wasn't something that any of you would like. It was just kind of outdated. But the amethysts are still amethyst, and a nice, I say that because they are well matched. They're going to be well matched. They're all bright and lively stones. And here we have, for 30 carats, $44. That's, yeah, let me look with my loop. It might be me. That's item 1089422. 1089422. Yep. Ah, there we go. Much better. Much better look. 14 matching stones. $44. Excellent, excellent opportunity. 1089, or hold on, I got a loop. 1089122. 1089122. What would be the show without a couple rocks and minerals, even though you guys scooped up a lot of that jewelry the last show. But this one, this is a world-class specimen of an item that I showed a really nice specimen a few weeks back, but none of them have been along the lines of this. Look at this blue barite. This is a remarkable quality specimen in the blue barite world. And seldom do you get one that doesn't have a lot of the limonite and the other matrix. Let's go in a little closer right down here just to see and look at the detail in and the individual crystallization that you can see that really sets this apart from so many of its specimens that you might see in the market. Look at that. Look at that. When this was first discovered, the blue material coming out from that area, there was nothing else that they had ever seen in barite like it before. That is stunning. Only $118. Only $118 on that. Now, I know our time's almost out, but let me get in just a one or two pieces here that will kind of balance out the price points since we've hit on some big ones. How about 1089.522? 1089.522. You're going to like this one because I really did. It's an estate piece. It's sterling silver. There are emeralds in between, freshwater pearls. Look at the toggle clasp. Toggle clasp. And then, yeah, I like that. The drop down from the toggle clasp. Look at the emeralds, faceted emeralds in between. You have the Mayburr stone. Pearls are June burr stone. Look at that look. And how about this? How about a price of only $58? $58. Let's look at item 1088622. Now, with all these different pendants I've shown you, there is going to be a need, if you don't have it, for you to need a chain for it. Well, a lot of chains can be so expensive, but like I said, there's only a few chains I really recommend. This is one of them. I always called it a double link. You know, if it's a single link, it's kind of like what they call an anchor chain. This is 2 links within 2 links. I'm actually able to repair those and solder those individual links. I brag on that because I used to teach my jewelers to try to how to do that, and 1 in maybe 20 mastered the ability to solder those without being able to tell the difference. $68 on that. Only $68. It's why I say the double link, very strong. It 18 inches where the 2 links link into each other, so you have a really strong look there, and without having to weigh a lot of money and cost you a lot of funds. Now, just 2 items left, I think, and then we're going to have to wrap it up. But item number, this one I want to show you because item number 1088722. This is out of all the chains, and there was a lot of gold. I only selected a few that I found to be special. This was one of them. It was 18 karat gold. Now, by way of the design, I call this just an anchor, like an anchor chain. You know, you have the oval link inside an oval link. But this has a really neat designer touch to it, and it's 18 karat gold. It's 18 karat gold. So this is actually going to be quite strong without weighing so much that it would break the bank, especially being 18 karat. Price on this, and all the gold is marked as low as I can get it. $298 on that. $298, and the nice thing also is it's 24 inches long. This chain, you can easily hang any heavier pendant on or loop it through it, the link as well. And it has a very sizable and strong lobster claw clasp, and I believe yeah, Italian made. And yep, we're just about finished the chain presentation. 1089622. 1089622. This, there was only one of, and so I knew I had to feature it because every time I had ever shown a chain that was self-adjustable, always a big hit. Price on this, look at this. And let me show you. It's only, look at this. So it's 24 inches adjustable. Price on it, I love, for one, also the very flashy, bright design. $148. And all you do, as you look at the clasp right here, is there's tension in there, so you just have to pull the chain through to whatever length you want it to fall on. And then you have this attractive piece that falls down the back of your neck. get the length you need, get it to fall right where you want. Only $148. And then something for everybody in price points. Let's look at 1090122. And this, yep, you guys scooped up the one I showed last week. Well, I decided to bring in one other I found. Look at this. I love it. Yep, ocean jasper. Ocean jasper, sterling silver pendant. This material is getting really difficult to get. Price on this, you'll love it. It is only $18. $18. Let me just set that down here really quick. And, oh, okay. If I can beg just another minute's time, we are just about through. 1088922. 1088922. Give you another opportunity. Now these chains, only after a week, if they don't move, I am going to find another source, even if they have to go to the refinery. Remember, gold is gold. Here is a rope chain. The rope chain, without a doubt, especially if it's not diamond cut, is one of the strongest links there is, and is timeless for its style and design. Price on it, $388. You know it's a solid rope when the price reflects it, 24 inches. But this chain, that's half of what it would normally cost. You can see just how big that is, how bright that is, and it comes with, of course, a nice safety catch with it, a nice long length. Almost all of these were Italian made as well, and would, certainly be of the quality you want. All right, this will be the last item of the show, only because of time, not because of quantity. 1089322. 1089322. And like I said, if these items don't, they're going to go to another market. It's not going to be a long time here. So if you like it, you make sure that you take advantage of it as quick as you can, like you did in the last offering. Okay, look at this. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, bright colors. When you see them like that, you know they're going to either be the Brazilian apatite or Madagascan apatite, but there's a difference in color even between the two of those. These are the Madagascan apatites, size 9, 14 karat gold, easily sizable, good thick shank to that, and a price of only $288. 14 karat gold apatite ring for $288. I don't think that's something that you're used to seeing. Let me hold on. Oh, I found one last item. This is one I was looking for a moment ago. Hold on. Thank you, sir. 1088322. 1088322. This will give you an alternative choice to those emerald bracelets I showed you. And remember, if it's garnet, it's gotta be good. It's a great birthstone. Mine, by way of only a couple weeks coming up. Asif just having had his birthday recently as well. So, all right, take a look at this. Here is something you don't get to see too often. A Savorite, look at this, Savorite garnet bracelet. Savorite and diamond. And it has a longer than 7 1/8 inches, Tanzanian Savorites, diamonds as well, 14 karat gold, two-tone. Let me get that even out of the way. Look at that. Look at how bright those diamonds are. And of course, you know Savorite being a type of grossular garnet, and the green really bright and lovely and lively. Green always difficult to shoot. So I always like that, because when you get it at home, it's always going to look better than you saw it otherwise. All these hidden clasps, white gold tongues for additional strength and security and safety catches. Price on this, again, just a portion of what it should be. $888. $888 to get something like that. Wow. All right, we'll be right back with the trivia for you. Wow, if you could only look just a couple inches lower, but don't. It's one of the biggest messes I've ever made because I was trying to get to so many items so quickly. And unlike rocks, even though rocks take time to pack up, jewelry and the value associated with it and the damage that could occur takes a little bit more time. And, well, that's what we call the Raven in 4. We could call her in for a lot more. If I could only get her to speak, that woman has a level of knowledge on items you have. People who don't even know. But she's been doing this since she was 10. I'm 11. So, yeah, she is the unsung rock hound and jewelry expert, as, you know, so often is the case with people, right? You know, people will make judgment and based on whatever they want to make judgment on. Not a wise thing to do. You never know really what lies within someone's history, knowledge, and humbleness. Humbleness, yep. Something that needs to be a little bit more of around this world. All right, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to all of you. And, you know, it's great to be here. Great to be here with all of you for another season. And it's really exciting. Here's the other really exciting thing. Okay, so you're seeing me today. And at other times, it's been sometimes difficult to get a show in during the holiday schedule. No, Asif has worked it out. And I am truly blessed to have him in my life, as so many of you have commented on and probably can feel and tell. So Monday we're going to produce and make another show for you so that the day after Christmas, yes, you're going to get another Shawn show, kind of making up for my illness, kind of out of my control, and any other snafus. Yeah, we want to give it back to you, especially right here at the end of the year. Especially when I have so much more to show you. This kind of excitement, and I am so glad to see the most expensive items I showed last week. From the top down, like the top 5, 6, I don't know. I was talking with Kevin, maybe all, 7, 8, 9, all sold. All sold. Now, that doesn't always happen with rocks and minerals. So I'm glad to see. Don't feel bad if you're getting jewelry from this show. Remember, if you're getting jewelry from the show, you're getting jewelry from a master goldsmith and master lapidary, gem cutter, gem nut, mineral nut. So it's really buying jewelry with the most knowledge you could ever have in regards to what the purchase you're making. Not to mention the fact that you're getting it from an estate, and from someone who believes that estate jewelry should be just that, a bargain, a deal. Why, when we were younger, we always thought estate was supposed to be like almost going yard sailing. I won't use the term junkin, like we offhandedly called it sometimes when we went yard sailing. No, in this case, it's buying estate jewelry for the discounts and the bargains that it was always meant to be. And I'm glad you recognize that also. Now, yeah, I'm going to wind you up a little bit. We haven't even gotten to, well, this is good stuff, okay? It is. Let's put it this way. We haven't gotten to the better good stuff. The higher end stuff, the rarer stuff, the fancy stuff. How many hyperboles you want me to use? Oh yeah. And Shawn made pieces I never thought I'd see again have come back to me. And it's artwork that now at this point in my life I would never be able to do. you would never have the opportunity to see it or even buy it. But because it was created 25 years ago, when I was a younger man, wow, you're going to get, you can see the excitement in me. I'm just really, it just energizes for me to be back around artwork that I had created so long ago. And yeah, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it. Okay, so show continues Mondays. And again, if for any reason something happens, don't think there won't be a show. It might just get posted the next day. Again, like I had explained earlier, you know, we're all human. And the exciting thing about this show, it operates on just a core group of people. And we want to keep it just amongst the core group of people that know exactly what to do. And so, you know, if one of us becomes ill, that's kind of what happens. But that's okay. That's okay. Just be patient with us, and it'll pay off for all of you. All right, ready, set? I have 2 trivia questions. The first one. Oh yeah, we got trivia questions even out of the jewelry. What determines the name of a tektite? Now I thought about telling you what a tektite is, but no. I told you that in the presentation. And I also told you what determined the name of a tektite. What is that? What determines the name of a tektite? Question number 2. Name 2 primary apatite producing countries. Now, I'm talking about gem quality apatite. Apatite is actually, can be found in massive quantities, but it's in a commercial grade that's not, you wouldn't even recognize it as apatite. But the good stuff, the gem quality is, there's a couple other areas. I mean, like the beautiful, well, I'm not going to tell you anymore. The 2 primary ones, 2 primary countries for producing gem quality apatite. I am so thrilled and happy to be back here, only because I, you know, even missing you a week is, I don't know, I think I'm inextricably linked, my happiness to sharing this, to continue to generate my happiness. So let's keep my happiness going. The year, I just have to say it. This year ended with on a note that I never thought I would see. And if anything, I got out of all of my trials and tribulations, I got a restored sense of faith that is renewed, reinvigorated, and I am so thankful for having that feeling of faith once again. And can't get much better than that for an end of the year present back to me. All right, everybody hug and love each other, and you know, I'm going to get to talk to you one more time before the end of the year. How exciting is that? But until then, I will see you the day after Christmas. So, Merry Christmas to all of you. And thank you for being here throughout the year with this show and supporting the show. God bless. See you in a week.